Hey there, this is Angela Stribling with a new After Sunday podcast. And I'm just grateful to have my new guest on here. But you can always catch us every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. I'm also going to be streaming these on Facebook as well as on TikTok in the future. But for now, we're just on YouTube. And I'm just grateful to have the amazing guests that I have to come on the show. I've had the last two guests were pretty amazing and powerful speakers. And this one will never be any different. She's a long time friend of mine, long time friend of mine. We've worked together in the past. We became good friends. She's helped me in multiple situations, but she's worn many hats. This is Miss Donna Goings. How are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thank you for the nice introduction. Yes, we've been friends for a long time, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad to have you on the show. Over the times, I know you've done a lot. In the industries you've worked in. You have a wealth of information. You've done a lot as far as helping people with resumes and helping them seek employment. You've done a lot, we worked in small business. Can you just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you feel as though your best attributes as far as working in the industries that you have?
Okay, so I have over 30 years of combined credit and collection experience. So I also did some management, supervisor, and I feel my best role was in credit.
Okay.
A lot of us don't know how we can use our credit, how we can utilize it, how important it is. I
Right.
didn't realize how important credit was until I bought my first house.
Okay.
So before then, I was just like, whatever. And especially living in Pennsylvania, they don't have any wage garnishments.
Okay.
So a lot of me not paying my credit was, well, they're not going to do anything. They can't, garnish my wages because they don't have wage garnishment here. But I found out as I matured, that was the wrong way to go.
Right.
Credit is very important. I stress that to everyone. Renting, I don't like renting. I don't like the fact that the rent goes up every year.
Right.
And I'm renting now. I sold my house, so I'm renting now. Moved to another state, but I do plan on buying another house. And there's ways you could save money. Traditionally, it would be in your own savings account, of course.
Okay.
But, what I've learned in the industry that I'm in, we could utilize our 401k. All right. It's not ideal because, they're saying, oh, well, you're dipping into your savings account, your retirement. But, with a lot of us, we live check to check.
Right.
So it's impossible sometimes to save that money that you need to buy a house.
And to pay your bills because the bills are ongoing monthly.
Exactly. So, you got your bills, you want to try to save for the house and everything. And what I learned is, and this is, if you can afford to do it and if your job will allow you to do it. But what I do is the max that my job will match at 100%.
Okay.
I started to contribute that into my 401k. And then I learned that, maybe after saving for a year or two, it depends on when you want to do it, you can borrow half of that amount as a down payment. And it would be like a home loan. And the way you start off, first, you want to get your credit right. You want to do whatever you have to do to dispute older items on your credit report. If you have no idea how they got there, if you don't know where they came from, dispute them. Make the creditor prove that they belong to you.
Okay.
When you dispute them, they have 30 days to respond.
Okay.
If they don't respond in 30 days, then, they have to take it off.
Okay. Okay.
Once you get your credit right, go to a mortgage company.
Mm-hmm.
Have them run your credit. See if you qualify for a mortgage.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You want to
because most people might not even know where they fall until they go to get them to run that mortgage.
Right. So I suggest go to a mortgage company rather than a bank.
Got you.
Banks are more strict when it comes to credit and to past, indiscretions on your credit report.
Okay.
Mortgage companies, they're more lenient.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I would suggest go to a mortgage company before you go to a bank,
Got you.
and let them run your credit.
Yeah.
And they'll let you know what you need
To fix to get where you need to get. Got you.
and how much of a down payment you need.
Okay. Okay.
So I'd say, if you could max it out in your 401k, save up to the max that your company will match. If you can do that for a whole year, and then in that whole year, start working on your credit. And if you do have charged off credit cards or something on your account, call up your creditors and see if you can get a settlement.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And the settlement offer, a lot of times now, the creditors are allowing you to make monthly payments for your credit for your settlement.
Okay. Okay.
You don't have to pay them right then and there. You can maybe pay them over 3 to 6 months.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Settlement still stays on your credit report, but it's better than not paying anything at all.
Got you.
And when you do make your settlement payment, it does raise your score.
Right, because that is still going to be considered you're making a payment.
You're making a payment, and you're paying off most of the balance.
Right, exactly.
And, see if your job will allow you to borrow from your 401k towards a home. Because some jobs won't. It depends, but most of them will. And that's a fast way,
an easy way,
down payment,
get some quick cash. Right. Yeah, yeah.
But you pay yourself back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people, again, they don't know that. Utilize your 401k. You're paying into it, and
right.
Get out of renting. Stop thinking that, I could never build a house. I can never own a house. That's not true. You can't.
Or you can't never afford a house. I think that's the issue, that most people think that they can't afford it. You know what I mean? But technically, if you're paying rent, you're still basically homeless, because if something never, like literally though, if something never happens and you don't own that, then anything can happen and you could be out. So like you said, just start with checking with the mortgage company and seeing where you fall. And so with the different terms on a mortgage, as we get a little bit older, is you still feel that we can still, there's still a good time to buy, and even in this industry with post-COVID, how do you still feel it is as far as the rates?
Well, the rates are a little high. Okay. I do admit the rates have gone up from the 2% and 3% that they were. But they are offering a lot of incentives. You can get a rate maybe as low as 5% now. Okay. Still a little higher than it was, but it's better than paying rent.
Right.
You own it. It's your investment.
Right. And there's equity in it.
And it's equity. So, let's say, some people say, well, I'm 60-something years old, or I'm 50-something years old. What I look like buying a house? It's an investment.
Right.
Buy the house, live in it until you retire.
Right.
Okay? If you feel at that point when you retire, okay, now you're one income. I mean, you're getting paid once a month. Your Social Security, you used to getting paid every 2 weeks or whatever. If you really, really feel after you retire that you can't afford this house anymore, you can sell it and live off the equity and be okay. But right now, if you're going to be paying rent, if you're going to be working another 10 plus years before you retire, go ahead and make that investment.
Okay.
Or you can possibly pass it down to one of your children who want to take it over. You never know.
That's true. And it gives them an opportunity, if you go within that time frame, they still have a place that's stable that they can jump right into and still have a place to live. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they do down in the South.
Right.
A lot of people in those houses, they've been passed on from generation to generation to generation. So, you can just start it. You could be the one to start it.
That's true. That's true. And you've always had, and I just want to thank you, because you've always had a wealth of information. When I started working in the banking industry on the collection side, you was the first person. Remember, I called you and I was like, Donna, do you think I would be able to do this? And girl, I do it well. So
yes. Hey, I made a lot of money working in collections.
Yes, it's incentives in that. You know what I mean? Where most people think, oh, you're constantly on the phone, but you're on the phone for a reason.
Right. You know,
Yeah, yeah. And
it's
tell
very
people
lucrative. It's
it
nothing.
is.
It's nothing to sneeze at. You know, people look at it and say, "Oh, you're a collector. Oh, I can't do that." Well, you know, you can.
You can, if you
You
want to do it, you can do anything. You know
right.
what I mean? And
And
it was
collections are not mean. They think all collectors are mean.
but no, we're really not. We're empathetic. We understand. And
Yeah.
everybody, even with this post COVID, everybody is still going through some financial difficulties. So,
Right.
as a
Right.
collector, you have to find a way to allow these people to have still want those whatever it is, retail, credit card,
Hmm.
whatever it is, they still want to keep those items, and you just have to find a way to help them do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And there's
Hmm.
programs available as far as to go back to housing. Like, so say in the infants that something does happen in
Hmm.
your house, are there programs available that could help you with trying to maintain and save your house as well?
Oh yeah. All mortgage companies, all lenders, they offer modifications.
Got you. Okay.
So you could get a modification on your loan. You know, they can put the payment on the back end. Oh, there's a lot of different programs out there to help you save your house. Foreclosure really don't start until about 4 to 6 months. So,
Okay.
you know, after the fourth month is really where you should be scared.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
before you get to that point, you know, call your lender, let them know, hey, I'm struggling, I'm having
Right.
a problem. And that's another thing that we do. We are embarrassed. We don't like to call. We
Right.
feel we don't want to put people in our business.
Right.
But when it comes to a roof over your head and you own it,
You
you
gonna
better
call,
put them
you
in your
better
business.
call and say there's a problem in
Yeah.
here.
Like, hey, I got a problem. I can't pay. I lost my job. I'm on
Right,
unemployment.
right,
What
right.
can you
My
do?
old man left me.
Thank you. So you better call them and say, hey, you know, my income is not what it used to be. I
Right.
need something to help me say, and they will. They will.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
have to be open. You have to call them. You have to communicate.
That's true. That is so
Hmm.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. So, are you still doing anything as far as helping people with the resumes or helping people find jobs? Because that seems like that was just your gift. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even I think I kind of see you on social media still promoting and seeing, making sure
Right.
this is going on or this is happening. And by the way, you're no longer in Pittsburgh. You're in Indianapolis, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. Okay. So how is the market there as far as jobs and housing?
Um, it's very inexpensive to live here compared
Really?
to compared to Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. It's very, very affordable here. Now, of
Oh,
course, prices
nice.
have gone up here compared
Right.
to when I first got here, but compared to Pittsburgh, it's still very inexpensive to live here. And what makes the market so good here, there's a lot of manufacturing companies.
Okay. Okay.
You know, we got Pepsi, we got GM, we got Snapple, we got Hostess, we got a plant that makes their own bacon here.
Oh, wow.
There's just a lot of different industries here and a lot of manufacturing
Yeah,
jobs
those
here.
are nice jobs.
Right. And that's why Indiana is so lucrative because you could come here and get a manufacturing job, if they're hiring and stuff. But
Right.
there's
And the
a
cost
whole
of living
bunch.
is lower there than
Mhm.
it is here?
Yes, absolutely.
Really,
Mhm.
really. And
It's
then with those factory jobs, you don't have to worry about needing a college degree.
mhm. We got the Amazon plants here.
Okay.
Yeah, the distribution center. And
Okay.
I don't
Good
live too
deal.
far from one. So when I order from Amazon, a lot of times I get my stuff the same day because they're
Yeah.
not too far from
Because
me.
it's right around the corner, right?
I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing.
What'd you
But,
say? Do you want me? Can I just come pick it up?
I'm that close to you. I can just ride on down the street and come get it. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of factories here.
Oh,
You
nice.
got Delta Faucet here. I mean, Eli Lilly. It's just so much here.
How was it when COVID? Did a lot of those companies shut down or they still were rolling right along? Because life still
Um,
had to happen.
Life still had to happen. So that's when the work from home started.
Yeah, yeah.
Companies that would never imagine they would work from home.
Yes,
That's when a
yes.
lot of that came into working from home. The real big ones didn't suffer, but
Uh-huh.
your small businesses they suffered a lot. But
Okay.
not the manufacturing businesses that I heard. I didn't hear anything. They still went on.
Right.
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. I just want my viewers to understand, not to go in too much detail about my personal life, but a long time ago, you really helped me in a situation, that sometimes when you're in a situation, you don't actually see things for yourself. But then
Hmm.
when you have an outside person come in, and I was just in a relationship that just wasn't fruitful, or had, you know what I mean? Sometimes relationships just die. And that
Right.
was in the space I was in. And when you brought that to my attention, it really opened my eyes to, you know what I mean? Shoot,
Yeah.
why am I in this? And I sincerely thank you from this space we're in, because,
Hmm.
sometimes we as women, we stay in situations, but it's not always where God has us to be. And because
Hmm.
of situations, we can't evolve and be the true women that we have actually been called to be. Because I know, had I stayed there, I would not be in the different spaces that I'm in now, because I would have definitely been suppressed. What advice do you have? Because you and I have talked over the years about relationships, and, today and age with the social media aspect, and these young people, I see a lot on social media and how they just interact and how they disrespect each other on both
Yeah.
sides of the coin.
Hmm.
What do you suggest? I mean, and you have a young daughter, so I'm sure you have to hone into her to understand the importance of being respectful for herself
Hmm.
and not trusting. And the reason I say that, there was a social media influencer, a Tisa Ressa, who had met some guy recently, and
Yeah.
he sold her a lot of dreams. And then, like I was saying, I watched a show last night called Kimba, where this guy, he just kind of put her in a situation that was safe and almost cost her full freedom.
Right.
What do you suggest? I mean, or what would you talk to your daughter about if you're teaching her how to be a respectful young lady for herself and what not to look for in a man?
Well, first of all, we can't lose ourselves to these men. That's what we do.
Yeah,
And especially a lot of us that say, put God first, always put God first. But as soon as some of us get in that relationship, we seem to forget about God.
that's
Okay.
true. That's true.
And I always say, and I saw this on social media, don't forget God when you get what you
What you
asked
want,
for.
that you asked for,
Okay.
exactly,
Don't forget him. Okay.
exactly, because he got to stay instrumental
Right.
in the
We need to
center
do
of
our
that
homework. We need to do our homework when it comes to relationship, men and women.
and
Okay. Like you
recognize
said,
those red flags.
just the red flags that we always ignore. And I'm a victim of it. I ignored the red flags, and I ignored my red flags so much I married it. So okay.
What you say, daughter? There was a great big stop sign, and you just get right on going.
I was like, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. I'm gonna marry him anyway. Get out of here. You know. So yeah, so we have to do our homework. We have to recognize that we can't settle.
No.
And when we give somebody the benefit of the doubt, that's the same as settling. If
Yes.
there's a disturbance in you, if you're not quite sure about something,
Yes.
believe it. Okay?
Yes.
Women have something, it's a gift, it's called intuition.
Intuition. Oprah talked about that all the
Yes, that's our
time.
gift. That's our gift. So we
Yes.
don't we don't utilize our gifts. We ignore because we're afraid of being alone.
Right.
We think
Right.
a lot of us, like Risa Tisa thought her clock was ticking. She
Right.
just
Right.
wanted to
Right.
be married. So this guy came in, and what he did, what a lot of men do, women do it too, but I've never dated a woman, so I can only speak on my behalf.
Exactly.
A lot of men come in and love bomb us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in and sell us these dreams, and they provide us with these gifts. And, some of them don't provide gifts, but they just provide time and
Right.
conversation and
Right. Right.
love.
Right. 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 Right.
If we're not used to that, we
Right.
fall victim of it, and that's where we lose ourselves.
Right. 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 But
So,
is this man praying for you? Is he seeking God on your behalf to see if you're the one for him, and is he the one for you? Because if it's meant to be, you have
mhm,
to be aligned to
yeah,
make sure this is truly, because people, and I haven't. honestly dated since 2017, and I'm not mad to say that. I
Yeah.
have talked to one person once back in
Mhm.
2019, but I have just shut it all off, and I'm waiting on God to send that person. And in the meantime, I'm about my Father's business and I'm
Right.
about my personal business, because at the age I'm at, if you're not coming to be a part of what I'm already a part of, it's not happening. I don't
Mhm.
have time for games, and
Right.
serious about the work. And I literally don't have time for games. I got about 10 jobs. I don't have time to sit around with foolish.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you
Mhm.
got to be serious and committed and really want to do and be a part of whatever the next level is on my journey, because I don't have time. I'm gonna give you about 6 weeks. If you don't have if I don't have the sign that you're on the same level, then I got to
Yeah.
move on. You know what I mean? And I think that's
Right.
what a lot of women don't do. They kind of, like you said, get that love bomb.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, you're not really studying what it is that you've already prayed for or looking
Right.
for in an individual that's going to align with what it is that you need. Because it's not just about me sitting at home and we Netflix and chilling. We're going to do the work. You know?
Right. You gotta put the work in. And
Yeah,
don't be
yeah.
so quick to move somebody in your
That
house.
part. That
You
part.
know, it just like when you meet someone, if they want to, if they're in a rush to move with you, why?
Yeah,
Why are
right,
you so,
right,
just look at the signs. Why are they rushing you? Why are they pushing you? Why
right,
are they just going with the flow?
right,
You got to look at
right.
all these things.
Yeah,
And if they say they have something, make them prove it.
yeah,
You know, especially
yeah,
if you want to walk
yeah,
down that aisle. If you want to marry
yeah.
someone and they say they have all this and that, you have to see proof nowadays. You can't just take
Yeah,
a person
and
for
not
the
only
word.
that, Donna, you got to do your own work too. You got
Yeah.
to heal yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
I used to say to someone who was close to me, I said, "There's a big sign on your forehead that they say, oh, she's one. You can get this. She's one to go. You got to heal yourself
Yeah.
so that they know the type of person that they're dealing with and the standards that you're not dealing with anymore, and the level of standards that you have for yourself. You're going
Right.
to meet that, or at least be equal or comparable to that. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
you have to be equally yoked. You know
You
what I
have to be in some capacity, in all capacity. You have to be equally yoked.
mean?
You
Yep.
you are right about that. And
Yep.
when I got married, I wasn't equally yoked with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't believe in the same things. The only thing we had in common is we both liked to party.
Right.
That was it. And I didn't know him before I married him. I wish I would have did the work. I wish
Yeah.
I would have done the work. If I would have done the work, it would have been different. It just would
Yeah.
have been different.
Yeah. 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 And then, but then you live and you learn. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I think what I think there's a quote from Muhammad Ali. A person who's something like the same for the first 20 years have never learned nothing in life. So
Hmm.
eventually you have to evolve. So a person who knew me at 30, I'm not the same person that I was at
Right.
40, and I'm
Right.
most certainly not the same person I am at whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Right.
you have to grow. And if
Yeah.
you haven't grown and matured over that lineage and that time, like,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't have anything for anybody. I don't have anything against people to go to bars. That's just like not my thing no more.
Right.
Even if I wasn't heavily in church, I just outgrew that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
I like to take my trips on Delta instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just don't have, you know what I mean? I've just outgrown that part of my life. But and there's nothing wrong. If that's still what you like to do,
Right.
that's great. But it's just not me, because
And
I
don't
don't even
depend on the man to do something for you. That's another thing. If you want to do something, if you want to go somewhere, just do it.
just go.
Just
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people put, and then and they're all in their fairness, in all fairness to them too, it's not their responsibility to make you happy. You gotta already be happy.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. You're supposed to be an asset to my life,
Yeah,
not a liability
exactly.
to my life. So if
Exactly. So
you
if I
can't
like
bring
if I like 3 trips a year, just give me a fourth. That's all.
right, you know,
But
it's
what
just,
I'm grateful about is that we can now sit back and realized today that, wow, we survived it. We
Yeah.
overcame it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could have fell victim to a lot of the things, and I call them stumbling blocks that
Yeah.
Satan has set for you. We could
Mm-hmm.
have fell victim, and I don't want to laugh, but I think every day I can
Mm-hmm.
see your face in your office that day when you when you said Angie, and I was like, Donna, what? And then,
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, but I had to figure out a way to say
but
it.
I'm grateful
You
I
know, I
was
had to
able
wait.
to
I had to
receive
figure
it.
out a way to say it without offending you.
Yes. Oh
You
my
know,
Lord. Oh
and
my
I was
Lord.
like, but I saw so much potential in you, and because I was like, okay, but you inspired me to go back to school.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You
When
tell me
you
that
went
all
and
the
got your
time. Yeah,
when you
because
got your
once you let me off
bachelor's,
the gate, daughter, once you let me off the gate,
I know you was like, "Oh," I was like, okay, now she going to school. She got her bachelor's. Now she going to get her master's. I said, okay, all right.
oh God, I thank you. I just, and people
Uh-huh.
just put the people in your life, and I'm grateful that I was able to help you too.
Yes, you were. Because
Like
I
my
said, well, I'm
sister,
going back to school then. She going back to school. I'm going back to school. Then you got your master's. I said, I'm going to get my master's too.
right? So I thank you.
Mhm.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that.
Oh,
Because
no problem.
had I stayed in certain situations, I would have not been the woman that I am today. And that is just
But it was just a fluke because I didn't even know you was in that situation. And I was like,
yeah,
I know this person. Wait a
yeah,
minute.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hey, hey.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that's a lot of
And
things in life.
that's what girlfriends are supposed to do though.
Yeah. Real friends. But sometimes you tell somebody something and they get mad at you and
And
tell
get
you to mind your
offended.
business and get offended.
Yeah. And I
And
just went home and I was like, you know what? She was right. You saw, and it wasn't that it was something that I was hiding. It was just something I was living. And
yeah.
when you're living something, it just becomes normal for you. You know what I mean?
And I just came past and I was like, I think you could do a little better.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think you can do a little better.
yeah. And I
I see her
appreciate.
driving you. I see where you're going,
Yeah,
and you got an anchor.
yeah, 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 yeah. And guess what? Sometimes you can't have dead weight with you. So
Mm-mm.
you gotta let something go. Yep.
Yeah, people you grew up with, sometimes you got to leave behind.
You do, unfortunately, because they don't want what you want. And
No,
it
they're not
hurts
going
you.
in the same direction that you're going in. They don't want to
Right.
grow. They just want to stay right there. And as they see you evolve, they kind of get mad at you and kind of get jealous. And I don't know. It's just sometimes you just got to leave some people back where you found them.
Because Oprah has a little meme that she talks about. I think she was at a speaking engagement, and it
Mm-hmm.
says that sometimes when people see your light and they see you where you're going, and they instead of saying, "I like what she's doing," they say, "Who she thinks she is."
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But a lot of people don't understand. You don't understand my journey. You don't
Not at
understand my
all.
story. You don't know where I came from to get to where I
And
am
you'll know what
today.
I've come through.
Thank you.
That
'Cause
part.
it was a struggle. It wasn't easy to get to where I am.
Not at all.
God
Not
ain't
at
finished
all.
with me yet. He's still working on me.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I'm glad that whatever success you have, because you've already been dedicated, you've already been focused, you've always been motivated, you're always thinking of new things to polish yourself, and that's what the journey is all about.
Mhm.
Nobody said you're just supposed to work a job and then that's it. You got so
Right.
many different gifts that you provide. It's about the world. You're supposed to give this stuff to the world. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I'm grateful that I've actually been able to be on the journey with you
Oh.
and to see, you know what I mean? Because I was like,
Mhm.
hey, Indianapolis. And then you gave me some information when we talked the other day
Oh,
that
yeah.
you helped my grandson. You know what I mean? So that's,
Yeah.
some girl calls me this. It's called a conduit, but that's what you are. A
Okay.
conduit is transfers information. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's what we're supposed to do in this bigger scheme. You're not supposed to save it for yourself. So
No.
that's why whenever I knew I would get to a level and a platform to be able to help others, I make sure I give back because that comes back in blessings. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't want the secret all to myself. For some people do that. They
You're
keep
right.
so forever you've been sharing your wealth, sharing your information, whether it's makeup, whether it's resumes, whether it's housing, whether it's credit, whatever, how to move. When I was going to North Carolina, you was giving me information on how to look for jobs. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Uh-huh.
So this is who you are. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I thank you for that. But
Oh,
I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to have this conversation because I was thinking, I'm like, who can I get that I know will have this conversation with me and have an understanding because we as women have both been through. We've been through a lot, but it didn't kill us. So it only made
right.
us stronger. But do you have any finishing remarks, anything else you'd like to share and let our viewers know?
Um, you asked me about my resume. I still help people from time to
Yeah.
time. Yeah, like if they inbox me, I'll still help them. Yeah,
Okay.
and I feel the reason why I wanted to start helping people when I had lost my job before I moved here, I got laid off, and this what brought me here. I was like, these resume companies are charging too much money.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They want $300 and $500. And I was like, I can write that. I can
Right.
do a resume. So I did my own first. I always use me as a guinea pig before I tried
Yeah.
anybody else. And I did it, and I was sending out my resumes, and people were telling me, recruiters telling me how well written it was and how they liked it. And I said, okay, let me start a business. And
Yeah.
um, it was online.
Yeah, I know.
And I
I remember I
started,
was in it.
yep. And I was down at the Pittsburgh Literacy Council. I don't know if they still have that,
Uh-huh.
but I had dedicated my time. It started off, I was teaching, I was helping people to get their GED.
Oh, nice.
And I would do it on my days off. And
Okay.
that's when the refugees were
We're
coming in
coming.
from Afghanistan, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they were looking for jobs. So they were all in this computer room, just scattered. So I told one of the directors, I said, I can help them with that.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
said, well, we can't pay you. I said, oh, that's fine. You don't need to pay me. I said, I'll just get them started.
Right.
And
Exactly.
from there, it just took off. I volunteered first, and then after that, helping the refugees and everything. I said it's about wording.
It is. It
About
really
wording.
is. It really
And
is.
most people
And
think,
it's a gift for you though. It's
yeah,
definitely a gift for you because a good resume you need because that's your first impression to an employer. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it has to be done right because they'll just throw it after 3 minutes of reading, they'll just throw it away. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So you have
right.
to have a good, catchy, eye-catching resume. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's something you might want to consider to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Some people, I've been getting hit. People been asking me to start back. I just
See,
did a
this is what
few.
this is about.
Yeah,
This new After Sunday podcast. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's showcasing people that's out here doing the work, right?
right,
And I
right.
know you've done the work because I've been a part of that experience with you.
Yeah.
And some of those gifts, you can't let them become stagnant. Like even with this, sometimes my other work that I do becomes a little too overwhelming, and I'll sit this down for a minute. But something always will drag me to say, pick it back up. And I
Yeah.
it back out and I take it to another level. So I'm just saying, if you need some help in whatever way you need with that resume writing, because it's definitely needed, especially with the post-COVID, because a lot of people probably want to work, but they might have to change jobs or change careers. So
They
someone
want to do remote. A lot of people want to do remote, and then
right,
a lot of people get worried about, well, how can I get another job if I got fired from this job? How can
right.
I say it? How can I word it? There's ways to word it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's
So
ways around that.
if you need to find out how to word your resume, Donna Goings, Carson, where can someone find you?
Well, right now, I guess I don't know where you would be able to find me because I don't have anything up unless you just want to hit me up on my page. Send me a messenger through my page.
And what is it under your Facebook page?
Oh, yeah, my first it's under Donna Goings.
Okay.
I
Okay.
know I changed my name a lot on there, but this time it's under Donna Goings. So you can just message me, and we can walk through it, and I'll be happy to help you. I don't have a problem with it.
And do you have an Instagram as well?
Um, I do have an Instagram. Wait a minute, let me see what it is. I got so many pages. It's it's crazy. I do. I got a lot of pages. I got a makeup page. I got an Instagram
I
page.
know you
So
do.
let me
I
see
know
what this
you do.
Instagram says. And so my Instagram page is Diva 65.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
And if you need any help with her going through some questions regarding credit or regarding housing or how you want to get started, reach out to
Yeah.
her. You know what I mean? And see what it is she can do to help you. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be happy to give you, all the information that I know and that I've, used and help other people with. I don't have a problem sharing my information. I really don't.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm grateful that we were able to connect.
I
Again,
know.
and this is just the beginning. I feel, you know what I mean. Sometimes when you reach
Yeah.
out to people, it's for a reason, and maybe one day in the next couple months I'll let you know why. But it's because I might
Right.
need you to critique something for me.
Okay. Okay. I do it for my manager all the time. She always sends something in an email, and she says, "I already know daughter's going to send me something back with some red marks." I said, "Respectfully, though. Respectfully. I just want to make sure everything goes good."
Exactly.
And she said, "I
Sometimes,
understand."
listen. Sometimes I need a correct, direct individual who's going to give it to you straight up, no chaser, and
Right.
it's going to be for your benefit. You know what I mean? Because some
Yeah.
people sell you a lot, and
Mhm.
it's for their benefit. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
when people give you criticism, whether it's good or bad, and it's definitely for your best interest, I value
Mhm.
that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right. And
I
my
do appreciate.
resume, the costs are very, very much discounted compared
Yeah,
to what the industry is. And like I always told my customers, I can guarantee you an interview with one of my resumes, but you
I
got to
know
get the
that's
job.
right.
You got to
I
get
know
the job.
that's right. Yes, I know that's right. I know that's right. And I do. I thank you for allowing me to change industries because it really helped me. I do. Because I was like, Donna, I've never done this. She's like, you can do it. You can do it. You'll be able to do it. And I
Yep.
believed in that because you said I could do it. And I could have. And I
Yeah.
enjoyed our time down in Dollar Bank.
Yep.
Down in where were we at? Liberty Point State Park, right there down about a point. I remember
Liberty Avenue,
Liberty.
right
No,
next. It was the Hilton
right near
Hotel at
Liberty.
the time.
Yep.
We
So
was right next
we
door to the
worked
Hilton.
together for years. Yep.
Mhm.
And again, this is Angela D. Stribling. This is Donna Goings, and I'll never ever. I can't thank you more than enough for you as a
Oh,
part of me changing my life. So I appreciate that so much.
my pleasure.
Again, you can catch us every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a new After Sunday podcast. And you know what I say? Take care, stay blessed, and remember, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week. Bye.
All right.